What's going on? You're watching NFL Daily. I'm Mitchell Renz. That's Tom Downey. We're going to get into some NFL trade candidates. So once the big blockbuster trade happened with Jamal Adams, we were like, maybe we could see some more trades go down. So we're trying to predict here some of the players that could be traded. First guy coming up here on our list, it's Yannick Ngakoue.
The problem with a trade here is not that the Jags might finally get an offer that they deem acceptable or that Yannick is willing to play somewhere else. It's that there is zero flexibility available with his contract now. The NFL franchise tag extension deadline come and gone. It's over, which means Yannick will count about $17.8 million on whatever team has him capped this year. There are not that many teams that can handle that, especially in light of best case, probably more of a flat cap this year. Worst case, it dips substantially. So couple that with a very high asking price by the Jags, I wonder if this window might already be shut. Now, there are some teams that make sense. We'll get into those, but it's more complicated now.
It also doesn't help that Jadeveon Clowney, players like Everson Griffin are also out there because, hey, if you do want an edge rusher, why would you go out and trade probably a first-round pick for Yannick Ngakoue and pay him when you don't have to trade to go out and get those other guys? So maybe some other teams that could be interested in Yannick. You got the Cleveland Browns.
They got money.
Let's say basically what you're seeing here is the teams that got a lot of money and have a need. The Tennessee Titans, Detroit Lions, the Colts, the Miami Dolphins. These are what you would say the top 5 teams?
Yeah, just from that makes sense from a money perspective. There are others who have like maybe 14 or 15 that could find a way to get under the cap and bring on Ngakoue, but these are the ones that make sense that have a need at the edge rusher spot. Not a great crop, and with limited options, there's not going to be the bidding war Jacksonville was hoping for, and I wonder if the Jags kind of misplayed their hand at least a little bit.
Maybe for the 600th time here on NFL Daily, where will Yannick Ngakoue play this year? Is he going to stay with the Jags? Let us know in the comments. Or is he going to go to another team that we just showed you? Where will Yannick Ngakoue play this year? Tom, can't say Jags.
I will go dark horse Tennessee Titans then.
Oh, man,
you
stole mine. I was going to go with the Titans. All right, let us know, y'all. Where's he going to play? James Smiley says Bucks. Bryant Cowart says nowhere. And somebody just said
that could come true. He could opt out.
I also just see the NFL. Let us know where he's going to play. All right, we'll keep the show moving here with Dalvin Cook, star running back. He wants an extension. It's threatened to hold out. But could he actually just be traded?
Well, there was also the report of the confusion, I should say, that emerged from it of the coaches for Minnesota said, oh, yeah, Cook told us he's going to show up. And then Cook's agent said, no, he didn't. Okay? No clarity provided after all. So
I mean, what do you expect?
The problem for Minnesota here is that he's an important part of the offense. The contract market for a top-paid back is not beneficial for the Vikings right now with their cap situation. It's probably going to have to be at least Derrick Henry money, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, somewhere in that range.
I would probably say a little bit less because of the injuries, but you could also make the argument that Dalvin Cook is a more dynamic running back than Derrick Henry.
Sure, and you don't have to he's not in free agency, so you could be creative with the way you structure that contract. I don't think Minnesota trades him. I think they will either try to call his bluff with camp almost here, or they just get a deal done on the eve of camp.
So we're going to ask you this question. I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. What does that mean exactly? It means when you click into this video, the very, very first comment is going to say this. What should the Vikings do with Dalvin Cook? Should they pay him, type P? Should they trade him, type T? Or do you just wait, type W? All right, next guy here, another running back, LeVeon Bell. And there's been plenty of trade rumors around him. However, he doesn't get along with Adam Gase, but it just kind of seems like nobody does.
But now he hates Jamal Adams, so it's fine. Look, there's 2 main issues here with a possible trade. One of them can be solved down the road. The first, that the Jets, they don't have many other options for playmakers around their young, hopeful franchise quarterback.
Yep.
You typically don't want to take away those players from your quarterback, even if you're trying to rebuild. The other problem, which might be solved around the trade deadline, is Bell's contract. If he's traded, this is what the new team owes him right now. $11.5 million this year and next year, $13 million in 2022, but that's not guaranteed. So if you trade from around the deadline, all of a sudden it's only, maybe it's 7, maybe it's 6, depending on when you trade for him. Then you turn him into a rental and you cut him. That could be an option. But that's not going to bring you much back in a trade if you're the Jets.
I think it's safe to say that the Jets are kind of wishing that they never would have made that trade. And hopefully y'all out there are trying to stay safe as well. Go to chatsports.com/stay safe. We're going to put that in the comments. It'll be in the description. NFL face masks are going to be a mandatory if you want to be able to go to games this year. So you might as well rep your favorite team. There's single mask, there's double mask, there's player mask like you see here on screen. So if you have a favorite player, maybe like a Tom Brady, you can go out and get your player's mask. But also probably the best deal is the pack of 4. You can get 4 for $29.99. They get dirty, so then guess what? These are also machine washable. Chatsports.com/staysafe. Do your part. Let's go to some football games. Let's get this COVID thing over with. Go ahead in the comments, in the description. Chatsports.com/staysafe. Jaguars mask. Let's now go to Leonard Fournette here, who could be dealt.
It was kind of linked to trade rumors around the draft, and I think Jacksonville kind of leaked those in an attempt to motivate Fournette because they weren't happy. And then the leaks came out that he was, sleeping through meetings and stuff. Not ideal. There wasn't much interest from other teams. He's in the last year of his deal. He might just play this one out. But if there's an injury, team should call about Fournette.
I mean, the issue here is it's like, what Leonard Fournette am I going to get? Because I do think he's a good running back. However, he is one-dimensional. But he has really been asked to do a lot for this team, especially offensively, because who's been the quarterback? I know some of y'all absolutely love Gardner Minshew. So we've talked about Dalvin Cook. We've talked about LeVeon Bell. And we've talked about Leonard Fournette. This is what they did rushing last season. But rushing, obviously, is only part of the game. Now let's look at the receiving aspect of it. Dalvin Cook, solid numbers. LeVeon Bell had high receptions, but a low amount of yards. Leonard Fournette, surprisingly, if you would have asked me before the year who would have the most receptions, I would not have said Leonard Fournette.
Problem is he had 10 more receptions and still almost had the same amount of yards as Dalvin Cook. I mean, check down offense, baby.
Oh, that's what's going to happen when you have a rookie quarterback and, when big, Nick doesn't quite work out. So out of the 3 running backs that we've already discussed here on today's show, who would you trade for? Type DC for Dalvin Cook, type LB for Le'Veon Bell, or type LF for Leonard Fournette. I'm going to make it where you have to pick at least one. I don't want to hear none. You have to at least pick one. You got to make a trade for one. Who are you going for?
It's running back, so I'm going to go with the cheapest, and that is Fournette.
Okay, that's where I'm going. Because if you trade for him, it's what, 4.1 million?
4.5-ish, yeah.
4.5. So Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook, Le'Veon Bell. Pick a running back that you would trade for. Let's keep the show moving here now. We'll go to the defensive side of the football. Desmond King.
A lot of you guys have asked us about him before, so I figured we'd include him this time. Fair. He's been mentioned in trade rumors. ESPN has floated his name out there. The root cause of that is the Chargers allegedly told Chris Harris he'll play nickel corner this year. Well, that's Desmond King's spot. So now what are you doing with Desmond King? And I don't think it makes sense for L.A. because then you're thin at corner and you're also trying to win games right now. Long term, you can't pay all of these defensive backs you have under contract. But I would be at least a little bit surprised. Maybe I'm overlooking it, but I think they stick with him for now.
So today's show, we're talking about trades. But guess what? We've also done a lot of trade destinations videos. So we'll get asked all the time, hey, where could Dalvin Cook go? Hey, where could Yannick Ngakoue go? Hey, where could David Njoku go?
Might have to update that Yannick one now. Might have to.
Probably would, actually. So bottom line is this. We do a lot of different kinds of videos here. We do, obviously, NFL news and rumors videos, but we also do trade destinations videos as well, which we really, really enjoy. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because, we try to keep you as up-to-date as humanly possible. We talk a lot of trades as well. So subscribe button. It's also in the comments in the description. So David Njoku, we've done a video on him. So guess what? Now we're going to talk about him because he could be next here.
He's requested his trade from the Cleveland Browns. The Browns' stance so far has been, no, we're not going to trade him, and that's why we asked for a ridiculous first-round pick. He only played in 4 games, though. If the Browns eventually soften their stance, maybe he doesn't show up at training camp, for example, I think this might make more sense. But in terms of the available tight ends, Njoku, I think would be a very popular target for teams, given what we've seen in the past when healthy.
Yeah, when healthy, showed a lot of talent. Sure, last year didn't quite go the way he would want. But if you're going to trade for a tight end, this is the tight end you should trade for, O.J. Howard.
Asking price would be, I think, significantly higher in an actual trade,
He's a
not
great tight end.
what the Browns wanted. They're not going to get a first for him, maybe a fourth for Njoku. I think it might be more of a second for O.J. Howard. Now, he was heavily linked in trade rumors, mostly because, the Bucs signed this guy named Gronk, and they have Cameron Brate. You could also include here. The Bucs are going to use 2 tight end sets here. So I think they are at least posturing like they're going to keep O.J. Howard, but if a team comes through with the second-round pick, I think it might be enough.
I mean, I think O.J. Howard is one of the most underappreciated tight ends. Underutilized tight ends in the league, and I think he would do great with Tom Brady. I'd be curious to see how they run maybe a 2 tight end set. We haven't seen that from Brady's offense in a while, but I think OJ, everything that he can add to an offense, blocking, receiving, stud.
The stats here are interesting to me because these two guys coming out, Howard was the more well-rounded, a great athlete too, but he was a better blocker.
Yep.
Njoku was the more athletic impact type of guy, and Howard actually has a better yards per catch, which indicates to me more explosive plays. So in part because of that, and because I liked Howard coming out more, and that nothing's changed in the NFL to make me think otherwise, I'm going to type in my H here.
So let us know. Type H for O.J. Howard. Type N for David Njoku. I'm going to take O.J. Howard. Is that who you're taking as well?
I am.
All right, H or N, scroll down, let us know. Let's go back to the defensive side of the football here for Washington football team, Ryan Kerrigan.
It's an interesting situation here for Kerrigan because, well, they have multiple edge rushers. They have options at that position. They have Chase Young. They have Montez Sweat. Now my question is, could they move on and try and maximize that edge rusher?
I mean, he's really, really liked in the locker room, so I know he's a really solid player. But, again, you're looking at somebody who has been connected multiple times. So Ryan Kerrigan, could he be traded from the Washington football team? So let us know. Name a player that you want to see traded. So let us know. Scroll on down. Throw it in the comments section. So I see Max Nelson's watching. He's typing DC. I'm seeing some people type OJ as well. Let us know. Name a player that you want to see traded, and then we get a Dak thrown in there. Of course, somebody said Jamal Adams.
Well, news for you, my friend.
It's already happened, brother. Go ahead, check out our channel. Maybe you're the reason that people should subscribe more. All right, let's go to Malik Hooker, who probably, I shouldn't even say probably, definitely eats at.
Nope, not going there.
Look,
there? Okay. The Colts declined his fifth-year option, and because of that, there were immediate trade rumors before the NFL draft. Now, he's battled injury, but when he's been out there, he's been good. He's been a playmaker, electric in coverage, making interceptions. Even in his first year, he had a bunch of picks early, and then teams were like, okay, we can't throw his way anymore. That was a quick impact for Malik Hooker. My issue here is that there would be interest, and I know several teams that should be like, oh, yeah, let's go out and get Malik Hooker. Colts, with their veteran old quarterback, are not looking to get worse on defense.
Sure.
And right now, trading Malik Hooker makes them worse. Now, if they start the year terribly to open up and then trade deadline, I think teams are going to be calling. Right now, I think there have been teams calling. I think the Colts have rebuffed all of those trade offers and interest so far.